The sun was setting behind a small dusty village. On the edge of the town, there was an empty football field made of dirt, stones, and patches of grass fighting to grow. And on that field stood a boy named Ion. Thin, quiet, wearing shoes so worn that the sole almost touched the ground. In his hands, a torn, patched-up football. The only thing in the world that truly belonged to him. He kicked the ball gently and whispered to himself. One day. But even he didn't know what that dream meant yet. Ion was not special in anyone's eyes. Not fast. Not strong. Not skilled. Even his classmates laughed at him. You think you'll play football? With that disaster of a ball? Ion, you can't even run properly. One evening, the village boys were forming two teams for a match. Ion walked over shyly. They looked at him. Looked at his shoes. Looked at his torn ball. And shook their heads. Not today, Ion. Go play alone. He watched as they ran, passed, scored, celebrated, fought, and lived the moments he dreamed of. But he wasn't jealous. He was desperate. Desperate to belong. Desperate to improve. Desperate to prove. As the match ended, Ion picked up a small rock and drew a goalpost shape on the wall. He placed the ball at his feet. And shot. He missed. Shot again. Missed again. He shot for 2 hours. He didn't score a single time. That night he went home silently. No appetite. No words. Just a question in his mind. Am I really that bad? But every insult was a spark. Every laugh was fuel. At 5 a.m. the next morning, before the roosters crowed, Ion opened his eyes. Something inside him refused to sleep. He got up quietly, grabbed his ball, and walked to the field. The sky was dark purple. The air was cold. And he began to train. Alone. In silence. With breath turning into mist. Dribbling. Running. Shooting at the wall. Again. And again. And again. Even missing didn't hurt anymore. Because at that moment, Ion made a silent promise to himself. If the world won't choose me, I will build myself until they have no choice. Weeks passed. Ion trained every morning before school. Every evening after sunset. His clothes were always dirty. His shoes always torn. But his eyes. They were different. Focused. Hungry. One day, a local youth coach named Sir Cameron passed by the field. He often watched talented kids, but today something else caught his attention. A boy, completely alone, repeating a dribbling drill with absolute concentration. Cameron stood there for 10 minutes, watching. Ion didn't even notice him. When the drill ended, Ion finally looked up, surprised to see someone staring. Cameron walked over. Who taught you that drill? Ion shook his head. No one. I just copied what I saw online. The coach smiled. You work harder than my entire academy. Ion's eyes lit up. Can I join your club? The coach hesitated. The club required fees. Equipment. Travel. Ion noticed the hesitation and lowered his head. But then the coach placed a hand on his shoulder. You come tomorrow morning. No fees. No conditions. You've earned your chance. That was the first time anyone believed in him. Training at the academy was intense. Ion was the weakest, slowest, and least experienced. He fell more than he ran. But he always got up. The other players respected his fight. The coach gave him new drills, harder challenges, and endless motivation. Day by day. Week by week. Ion transformed. His touches improved. His control sharpened. His stamina increased. His confidence grew. And his old teammates, the ones who rejected him, started watching him differently. Not with laughter, but with shock. A regional tournament was coming. Ayan trained like a man possessed. The night before the selection, the coach called him aside. Ayan, you've worked harder than anyone. But you're still unpredictable. I can't promise you a spot. Ayan nodded, but his chest tightened. He went home that night, dropped his ball on the bed, and stared at the ceiling. He whispered one sentence. Tomorrow, I will give them no choice. The field was full of talented boys. Ayan felt small again. But the moment the whistle blew, he changed. He dribbled with purpose. Passed with confidence. Tackled with courage. But his biggest moment came at the end. A loose ball rolled toward him. 2 defenders charged. He flicked the ball over one, nutmegged the other, and fired a shot into the top corner. Everything stopped. The field fell silent. Even the coach blinked twice. Ayan, that was world class, he whispered. His name was the first on the team list. The stadium was buzzing. Crowd cheering. Flags waving. Ayan had never seen so many people. His hands were shaking. But when the match began, he remembered the empty dusty field. The wall he always missed. The mornings he trained alone. And the promise he made to himself. The match was tough. Score 1-1. Final minute. Ayan got the ball on the wing. He took a breath. Every legend starts with a single kick. He cut inside. Defender slid, missed. Second defender charged, Ayan dragged the ball past him. He approached the box. And shot. The ball flew like lightning. Curled beautifully. The net shook. The stadium erupted. Ayan dropped to his knees, tears streaming down his face. Not for the goal. But for the journey. The same boys who once rejected him, ran toward him and lifted him in celebration. But Ayan looked beyond them, toward the old dusty field. He whispered. Thank you, for starting everything. The crowd chanted his name. Ayan wasn't the most talented. Wasn't the strongest. Didn't have the best shoes or the best ball. But he had the one thing champions are made of. He refused to quit. This is not just Ayan's story. This is every dreamer's story. Every kid with a torn ball. Every player no one believed in. Every heart that still beats for football. Because in football, just like in life, you don't need to be born a star. You can build yourself into one.